Lenihan for Boxing Social in association with William Hill and Empire Fight Store. Delighted to be joined by big heavyweight Steve Robinson. Look, Steve, we're here, Newcastle, your neck of the woods again. How are you feeling? You're on a good run of form at the minute.
Yeah, good. It's been a long, gruelling time. Been in camp since February, fighting in April. Then that got moved to May. Then that got moved to June. Then that got moved to July. So it's 4 months in the making now. We're in a 4-month camp, so I'm just looking forward to Saturday night.
In a way, has that been a blessing in disguise where you've got maybe a bit more time to sharpen the tools? I know fighters are like, look, I've worked so hard to get to it, but you've had a bit maybe extra time to prepare. Has it helped at all, do you think, or not?
Not at all. Not at all. I'm me. I am this, as Franklin says, plank of wood who hoys windmills. But when them windmills land, you're going to sleep. I am, you know. I don't go in the gym and spend hours perfecting my art and dancing around the ring. I'm never going to be Usyk or Lomachenko or Josh Kelly. I'm 6'7", 18 stone Stephen Robinson who'll hoy windmills all day with, you know, whether it be 10 rounds, 12 rounds, 15 rounds. I've got the fitness to hoy them all day. So
I think the last time we spoke, one thing I did take away from you, you are a very honest guy. You said, look, I know I'm not this and this, but I remember when you were reacting about you talking about your defeat, and you said, look, yeah, I did get beat, but I'm back here, we can give it a go. You got the win over Campbell, and that's obviously propelled you back. What is it for you now? What are your sort of aspirations within this division? Because there's a lot of big fights to make, you know, from top to bottom. There's great fights to make. What are your personal aspirations? What do you want to get out of it?
You know what it is? I want everybody who doesn't believe in themselves, the kid from the council estate, the kid that got kicked out of school, the kid with no GCSEs, no matter where you're from, no matter what you're dealing with, believe in yourself. Because 8 years ago, when I got told you're never going to play football again, I got myself up to 144 kg. I was on tag, and I had two options. I was either going to end up inside, end up on the streets, end up on drugs, or do something with yourself. I walked into a gym and I said, yeah mate, I need to lose weight. Met Mark, met Giuseppe, put us in the boxing class, and from there, 8 years later, I've boxed for Great Britain, I've won a title in the amateurs, and now this is my 8th fight. Every day is a learning day. Couldn't give a shit about a loss, because it wasn't a loss. It was a lesson, and that's the difference with me. I'll fight anybody because I don't care what happens. Every day is a lesson. There's nothing anybody can do to stop my progression and stop me getting to where I want to be.
You just mentioned a lot of sort of poignant moments in your life where you mentioned tag and this, that and the other. What was that moment? Because a lot of people can't snap out of it, and you had boxing. Boxing was your outlet, and you're still doing it today, and that's what probably makes you quite dangerous, the fact that you're like, I don't care if I win or lose. But what was that turning point for you where you realised, you know, you had to get it together, that got you on this road? What was the turning point? That conversation, what was it?
I think my parents, seeing my parents upset and seeing me being someone that they didn't bring up that way. They've been through their own struggles themselves, and to see me going down a path that they probably really didn't want us to go down, and seeing them upset of us going down that path, seeing the people I was knocking around with, I think it was a kick up the arse of, I've had football my whole life. All I wanted to do was be a professional footballer. Then I got told I wasn't going to be a professional footballer with an injury whilst playing in Hong Kong. It was like, what do I do? What do I do with myself? And it was make or break, and was sink or was swim. And I always say, you can't. I love Disney, and as Rafiki says, the past can hurt, but there's two options. You either run from it, or you go with it, and you learn from it. And I learned from being a wrong-un. I joined the gym, and I changed myself. And anybody and everybody can change themselves, whether it be mentally, whether it be physically, whether they want to go in and lose weight, whether they want to do it for the simple fact that they're going down the wrong path, they can do it. And I just want every normal person to believe in themselves, that they can do whatever they want to do.
A lot of boxers have these aspirations of becoming British champion, world champion, etc. And I'm sure you have aspirations of achieving, because that's the competitive nature inside you. But is your purpose obviously beyond boxing? If you could have someone maybe who's seen you fight, or maybe hears the stuff that you've been through, say, you know what, I heard what you've been through, that sort of, you know, sparked something in me to change, would that mean more to you than a world title?
100%. The messages I get on Instagram of people saying, you've done this for us, you've done that for us, I started the gym for you, that means so much more to me than somebody congratulating us on a win. Like, listen, I love the congratulations, I love the journey I'm on, I'm loving all the, you know, the fans, the hatred just as much, but every single day that I wake up, I get to do what I never expected to do. I'm blessed to have a great team around us, and you know, I'm as well as motivation, you've got to be determined. Without determination, motivation's nothing. So I've got a great team around us, I've got great sponsorships around us that keeps us in that gym, and that's the difference between, you know, the ordinary and the non-ordinary.
Absolutely. You mentioned there, obviously, when you were going through them times that your mum and your parents didn't bring you up like that, but you've obviously hung around with the wrong people. Do you get a chance to maybe show them? You mentioned you get messages on Instagram. Do they look at you, or do they speak to you now and go, wow, like, it's, you know, how far you've come is incredible, 8 years. You mentioned tag, fighting for Great Britain. And now, have you ever just sit down and go, you know, show them these messages? Because, like I said, you may be now stopping other parents from having these hard conversations or going through that. So have you ever thought maybe showing them?
Definitely. I mean, I still live in the same council house. You know, I still live in the same area. No matter where I got, if I got a £5 million fight next week, I'd still live in Bladen. I'd still have me TV from Littlewoods that I'm paying monthly for. I'd still have my car and finance that I pay monthly for. None of this matters to me about having a great car, being someone you're not, because without everything, without my street, without my estate, without them people, without me focusing on the football, I wouldn't have found boxing. I wouldn't have found Mark. I think everything's got a path, everything's got a journey. And I genuinely believe we've all, you know, got a journey to follow, and we've all got bumps in the road, we've all got hills to climb, and you know, you've got to get through them. And I wouldn't be the person I am without the people who I've been brought up with, and you know, I still knock about with them people, I still talk to them people, I still go up when late and walk my dog through the streets, and you know, I'm still just me. I still see the people. If I get stopped for a photo in Bladen or when late, or people knock on my door to take a photo with the kids or a signed glove, they'll get the exact same. I'm just me, you know, and I'll never change.
Well, look, Steve, I think we've got a good insight to what sort of brought you to the dance and what will probably keep you here for a very long time. Look, how do you win this fight this Saturday night? He's talked a little bit at the press conference, but talking goes so far. What happens this Saturday?
Franklin's got to talk a little bit, because Franklin wants these big fights. He's calling Johnny Fisher out. He's called me out because he needs this. He needs this to. But when he loses on Saturday, where does he go? And I hope he doesn't take it too hard. And I hope, like my loss, it's not a loss, it's a lesson. But he is getting stopped. He's getting stopped before the 4th.
Well, look, Steve, it's been an absolute pleasure. I think we found out a little bit more about you than we were expecting, but it's always good to talk to you, and we wish you all the best for this Saturday. Thanks for talking to Boxing Social.
Thank you very much. Cheers.